Are you guys a couple?
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life.
When sisters turn against each other in the most public way possible, you know there's more happening behind the scenes than anyone realizes. The shocking feud between Toni Braxton and Tamar Braxton left fans confused and divided. But what's coming out now goes far deeper than a simple family argument. Sources claim Tamar has allegedly been spreading damaging rumors about her own sister, all centered on one explosive accusation that could destroy everything Toni has worked for. This isn't just sibling tension. It's being described as a deliberate attempt to tear her down, involving millions of dollars, secret marriages, and betrayal at the deepest level. Things boiled over when Tamar blocked Toni on Instagram just before her birthday, triggering one of the messiest public family fights in recent years. Toni tried to post a loving birthday message but couldn't even tag her sister. Instead, she shared a subtle yet cutting caption that sent social media into a frenzy. "I wanted to repost your beautiful photo, but I'm blocked again. Anyway, happy birthday." Tamar fired back in the comments, accusing Toni of gaslighting her on her own birthday and saying Toni could have simply called her privately instead of making things public. Tamar even shared screenshots of their text messages from the day before, making Toni's post appear intentional and calculated. Fans were split. Some felt Toni was playing the victim, while others accused Tamar of disrespecting a music legend. But what made this drama even darker was the claim that both sisters were sitting on secrets that would later change everything. Weeks later, court documents revealed a bombshell. Toni had secretly married Birdman in August 2024. Even more shocking, the marriage lasted just 48 hours. They tied the knot on August 8th and separated on August 10th. Toni filed for divorce 2 weeks later, calling the marriage irretrievably broken. Then came another twist. In January 2025, she withdrew the divorce petition. Legally, they were still married, even though they had erased each other from social media and stopped wearing wedding rings. For 8 months, fans had no idea any of this had happened. Toni even publicly denied marriage rumors just months earlier. The fact that they managed to hide a 48-hour marriage while the public speculated non-stop shows just how secretive their relationship truly was. But here's where things take a darker turn. While Toni was quietly dealing with marital chaos, someone in her own family was allegedly using it against her. Rumors began circulating that Tamar was telling people behind the scenes that Toni only married Birdman for his money. Given Toni's long history of financial struggles, that story quickly gained traction in industry circles. Instead of defending her sister, Tamar allegedly fueled the narrative, allowing it to spread. This wasn't just gossip, it was character damage. Toni has filed for bankruptcy twice despite being one of the most successful R&B artists of all time. Accusing her of marrying for money threatens her reputation and credibility in an industry that already exploited her financially. Reports even suggest Birdman heard what Tamar was saying and confronted her directly, showing how serious this family conflict had become. The idea that Tamar would allegedly use her sister's financial trauma as a weapon is being described as beyond cold, almost unforgivable. And the reason these accusations hurt so deeply is because Toni's financial downfall is one of the saddest stories in music history, despite selling over 170 million records worldwide and creating timeless hits like UN Break My Heart. Toni earned less than 35 cents per album due to her predatory contract with Arista Records. While executives made millions, she struggled to cover basic expenses and was forced to reimburse the label for studio time, wardrobe, and music videos. Her royalty checks were so small that at one point she reportedly earned under $2,000 despite massive album sales. During her bankruptcy, she was even accused of transferring over $53,000 to her husband in an attempt to shield it from creditors. The music industry took her voice, her talent, and her success, and left her with almost nothing. Then came that unforgettable interview on the Oprah Winfrey Show, which only made things worse and exposed just how badly she had been financially wounded. And now, with these new family accusations surfacing, fans are left asking the same question. Was this sister feud just about hurt feelings, or was it about money, secrets, and betrayal that's been building for years? One thing is clear. This story is far from over, and the deeper it goes, the more disturbing it becomes.
Please welcome Toni Braxton!
She's so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What did you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
That interview on the Oprah Winfrey Show wasn't journalism. It felt like a public execution. What aired as an interview came off more like character assassination. And even today, it's hard to watch without cringing. Oprah Winfrey publicly tore into Toni Braxton, making slick remarks about designer shoes and framing Toni's financial collapse as reckless spending instead of what it truly was, industry exploitation. The tone was cold, judgmental, and dismissive, completely lacking empathy for an artist who was clearly being taken advantage of by a record label. Rather than exposing the system that failed her, the conversation turned into a televised shaming session that painted Toni as irresponsible and out of control. Toni later admitted just how damaging that moment was. She described feeling small, humiliated, and emotionally crushed, saying the interview permanently altered how the public viewed her and stalled a career at a time when she was already at rock bottom. The irony is hard to ignore. One of the wealthiest women in media criticized Toni for owning luxury items while overlooking the reality that millions were being siphoned away from her by powerful industry players. That interview didn't just embarrass Toni. It reshaped public opinion, convincing many people that her financial struggles were self-inflicted rather than the result of corporate greed. The fallout lasted for years, damaging her credibility and character in the public eye. And as her financial situation continued to unravel, it became a harsh reminder that success in the music industry doesn't guarantee security, especially for black women artists who are often celebrated for their talent while being quietly exploited behind the scenes.
A lot of people don't understand. My second bankruptcy is because I was sick. I have lupus, and my show in Vegas got canceled.
And the insurance wouldn't cover
The
it.
insurance didn't cover it.
In 2010, Toni Braxton filed for bankruptcy once again, this time after being diagnosed with lupus. Her Las Vegas residency, which was supposed to be a financial comeback, was suddenly canceled. The insurance company refused to cover the losses, leaving Toni responsible for massive production expenses, venue fees, and staff salaries with no income coming in at all. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in obligations and zero revenue to offset them. Then things got even worse. In 2019, the IRS came after her for unpaid taxes. Federal authorities reportedly demanded more than $340,000, while the state of California added another $116,000 bill. Altogether, her back taxes climbed to nearly $500,000 at the same time. Toni was carrying her entire family financially. She paid for everything from her mother's car insurance to basic household expenses, while her sisters contributed little or nothing. Toni has spoken openly about how heavy that burden felt, saying she never truly lived for herself because she was constantly supporting everyone else, both financially and emotionally, and that leads to the most disturbing part of this story, the alleged betrayal coming from inside her own family. Sources close to the situation claim Tamar Braxton hasn't just been talking about Toni's marriage to Birdman. She's allegedly been pushing the narrative that Toni only married him for money. And according to insiders, she's been spreading that story for months. This goes far beyond sibling arguments. It's being described as intentional damage to Toni's character, and the timing feels suspicious. Tamar has been dealing with her own struggles, including public relationship issues and mental health challenges that she's openly discussed. Her recent social media behavior, including posts calling her family toxic, has raised concern among fans. Some insiders believe Tamar's resentment may come from feeling overshadowed, that Toni received the respect, opportunities, and recognition while Tamar has been fighting for relevance and battling personal demons. What makes it even more painful is that Tamar knows Toni's financial trauma firsthand. She witnessed the bankruptcies, the public humiliation, and the pressure of carrying the family financially. Yet she's allegedly using that history as ammunition against her own sister. Reports say Birdman eventually heard what Tamar was saying and confronted her directly. That confrontation reportedly became heated, which may explain why the sisters are now battling each other publicly on social media instead of keeping things private as they once did. But the relationship between Toni and Birdman is far more complicated than a simple money motive story that they've known each other since the early 2000s, when Birdman appeared on her song Give It Back. Their romance didn't begin until 2016, where he supported her through a lupus battle and stood by her family during medical emergencies. From the start, their bond seemed genuine. Birdman often called Toni my life, my soldier, and my everything, and he consistently showed up when she needed him most at IN 2018. He proposed with a stunning $1 million canary yellow diamond ring. But their relationship soon hit turbulence when the ring and other jewelry worth more than $2.5 million were reported stolen from her luggage during a Delta Airlines flight. The incident felt suspicious and added strain to an already fragile relationship. They broke up in 2019 with cryptic social media posts. Birdman wrote, "It's over," while Toni posted about new beginnings and choosing herself. Yet weeks later, he appeared at her concert and they reunited on stage. That pattern, breaking up and getting back together, continued for years, showing just how tangled and emotional their connection really was. Their secret marriage and separation within 48 hours, followed by months of being legally married while acting single in public, reveals how intense and complicated their relationship truly is. This doesn't look like someone simply chasing money. It looks like two people caught in a messy but real emotional bond, trying to make things work under constant pressure. What makes this even more twisted is how it connects to the long-running dysfunction of the Braxton family, which has played out on reality TV for over a decade. Since Braxton family values began in 2011, the sisters have cycled through feuds, reunions, and new conflicts. The death of their sister Tracy in 2022 should have brought them closer. Instead, the family appears more fractured than ever. Tamar was reportedly excluded from Tawanda's wedding and has increasingly been treated like the family's scapegoat. With a new season of the Braxtons about to air, the timing of this drama feels too perfect. Secret marriages, financial scandals, family betrayal, and sister warfare, all the ingredient for explosive ratings. But the real question is, at what cost? Whether Tamar truly spread rumors about Toni's motives, whether the situation is being exaggerated for television, or whether it's a mix of both. One thing is clear: the Braxton family's legacy is being shaped in real time, and it's messier than anyone expected. The issue is no longer whether they'll reconcile for the cameras. It's whether there's any genuine family bond left once the spotlight fades and the cameras stop rolling. With reputations and millions of dollars on the line, this battle between sisters may only be the beginning.